Our next speaker is Gary Kiliani from Interstacks. Gary is a serial entrepreneur. He started his first company, the very successful Dynavox, out of Carnegie Mellon when he graduated. He founded another company called I Know That. And what's really amazing about our community at Carnegie Mellon is how much all of the entrepreneurs give back. Actually, Gary was the mentor from another speaker today, Digital Dream Labs, when they went through Alpha Lab, the Y Combinator-like accelerator in Pittsburgh. So we're very fortunate to have people that are willing to always give back. So please welcome Gary Kiliani.
I want to thank everyone for coming out today. We really appreciate it, and thank Dave and his crew. We really have a great dynamic entrepreneurial community in Pittsburgh, as Dave mentioned. So we are rapidly entering the post-PC world of 1 trillion connected devices. Whether you call it Internet of Things, Internet of Everything, machine-to-machine communication, pervasive computing, we are in the early innings of the next big technology wave. So Gartner says there'll be 26 billion smart devices by 2020, generating $1.9 trillion of economic value. But we've got a few barriers in the way of this great utopian future. One of them is there are too many standards, too many technical standards. So the great thing about standards is there's so many to choose from. It's just too hard to get the things to talk to each other. Second, engineering skills are in short supply. And a lot of the speakers here today are going to try and help us create some more engineers. But especially when you consider this next wave of pervasive computing is inherently long tail in nature. It's composed of lots and lots of small vertical niches to create the real full potential of what this Internet of Things wave is going to bring us. And thirdly, making hardware is just too slow and too difficult. So Interstax is a system of modular electronic blocks that snap together that lets anybody rapidly build connected electronic devices. Brings rapid time to market and rapid iteration to hardware making. And the billion-dollar opportunity here is in aggregating this long tail around the world's first hardware app store. In a sense, Interstax is iPod, iTunes for hardware making. So there's 4 pieces to the Interstax ecosystem: snap-together hardware blocks, a visual authoring tool called Stack Builder, cloud connectivity, and the hardware app store. So the stacks, the blocks. So each module is about 2 by 2 inches in size, connector top and bottom, snap together. The modules are things like motor control, infrared remote receive, small displays, large displays, sensor interfaces, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all the various smart home automation protocols, computing, storage. So any single function hardware that you can imagine, we do a hardware block for. Secondly, messages that flow within a stack can just as easily flow between stacks. So Interstacks incorporates a very comprehensive, rapidly scalable architecture for this trillion-node world of connectivity by having the same messages in a stack be able to flow between stacks. So the stacks discover each other in a peer-to-peer nature so that you have decentralized control in a peer-to-peer manner. You author applications for stacks using a visual authoring tool called Stack Builder. Hardware blocks and software blocks both present the same interface, input and output terminals that transmit or receive messages. So the way you author an application is by just drawing lines between input and output terminals of blocks. You can choose software blocks from the built-in library, or you can author your own by doing Python scripting. But really, our emphasis is to lower that bar on hardware building beyond the engineers. So applications you author using Stack Builder and the blocks you've selected to snap together can be published in the hardware app store. publish your application, buy and sell. And in this way, you have passionate communities of interest that form around communities that empower and build upon each other as they do with all the other app stores. So just as in mobile app stores, you have vertical niches and killer apps that emerge. So the App Store powers this makers to masses strategy where you have these passionate communities that invent new amazing things and then make them available through the App Store to the masses. So Interstacks is about empowering the mid and long tail of hardware making. If you graph number of units shipped, number of hardware units shipped versus hardware making entities, on the left side you've got Apple and Samsung out there at 200 million units. On the right side, you've got this extremely long tail of maker DIY with quantity one. And in the middle, you have tons of industry niches with volumes 10K, 100K, 1 million units. So what Interstacks does is allow rapid prototyping, 24-hour time to market, future-proofing, and for the maker community, increasing volumes above quantity one. So this long tail that's coming, this Internet of Things, Internet of Everything, pervasive computing, long tail is very long. What can you build with Interstacks? Anything. Robots, smart homes, process control, pervasive internet-connected displays, environmental monitoring, interactive spaces, hobbies from model train control to Christmas light displays. So where's the billion-dollar opportunity in all of this? We know that community network effects around horizontal platforms create huge strategic value. It's been done in lots of other places. It's never been done in hardware yet. So if you just think about a long tail of 500 niches times 2,000 units per niche, that's 1 million units a year right there, plus mid-industry OEM deals and your App Store 30% transaction fees. So there's a powerful dynamic fueling this future, and that's the interaction of the maker movement with Internet of Things. We all know that the best way to learn anything is to just do it, and that's what makers and STEM education are about. What's happening is you're seeing computer labs at schools all over the country being turned into maker spaces, stuffed with 3D printers, CAD tools, rapid electronic prototyping tools, and this is where you're getting just huge enthusiasm and motivation around robot competitions and really making anything. So this is a recent book, Worlds of Making, Best Practices for Establishing a Maker Space for Your School. In fact, this coming weekend, there's a huge maker fair in the area. So this coming year, there's over 140 maker fairs. Last year, there was a first maker fair at the White House. Tech shops are like health clubs for making things. We have one in Pittsburgh across from Google's facility. There are a couple out here. They are stuffed with CNC equipment, laser cutters, CAD tools, electronic prototyping. So this maker movement is growing rapidly and interacting with lots of other things, all kinds of exciting things going on there, where you have both professionals, educators, students, artists, designers. So Interstacks has been incubated inside a design firm in Pittsburgh called My Design, based on 25 years of pervasive computing research and deployments. We've invested over $4 million of internal R&D money in its development, and I'd love to give you a demo and talk a lot more about what's going on with rapid hardware building and the world's first hardware app store back at the table there. Thanks for coming out today.